Rebound is off, taken by Kersey. He gets it to Strickland. It's a 3-on-2 underneath. Robinson slam dunk.
There's
perfect pass.
That's the Portland Trailblazers at their very best.
Duckworth turn, right hand hook, no good. Rebound tipped by Robinson again. Is he something? He may be the most improved player in the league, and for sure he's the best.
Full cage. It's been tied at every even number. All 5 Sonics contributing in their 10 points. Robinson has his first. Cage left alone outside. The left-hander from San Diego State rattles out. Drexler with a rebound. Cliff Robinson all alone at the other end.
Seeing him at the line when he gets a chance to play is a part of his game. Misses out.
8 attempts for Askew. That's 3 more than the entire Portland team in this opening half. Cliff Robinson wanted to say hello to his mom watching in.
Cliff Robinson, when he is moving without the basketball, is most dangerous, and particularly against forwards, either big or small. Trying to isolate Ricky Pierce and let him go to work.
Millen with a no-look pass to Kemp, who can't hit, gets his own rebound. Oh, that should have been goaltending. The ball was up on the rim when Drexler knocked it away. Robinson scores at the other end. Portland appeared to get a big break there. Robinson, a tough leaner. He has, and the rest, Millen. Robinson rakes down the rebound. He wants it, Robinson. He gets a basket, goes to the... Lang, his old teammate at the University of Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon, in the first round. Askew blocked by Kersey. Ahead to Robinson. Robinson ties it up. Knocked away by Robinson. Our officials today, Mike Mathis, Tommy Nunez, and Blaine Reicheld, and they wanted to send along their best to Earl.
Anthony, who played with the Knicks last year, former UNLV player, and Rod Strickland. But they're starting Sabonis in the middle. Dudley at the big forward, Cliff at the small. Kind of an interesting front line.
It's a huge team that the Trailblazers have trotted out for their first game.
7-3 Sabonis against 7-1 Benoit Benjamin. A couple of behemoths in the middle. Mastodons. Look at Sabonis. Fine entry pass. Cliff in deep. Good. He'll go to the line. Blazers draw first. 95-96 is officially underway. And Cliff Robinson to the line on the Kenny Gaddison foul. Gaddison, been around 10 years from Old Dominion. Benjamin on Dudley.
You don't want Dudley to end up with 4 on the shot clock and having to shoot deep, and that turns Blue Edwards loose, but he's not able to connect. The Trailblazers are supposed to be a running team. We'll find out whether they get to that running, because we haven't seen it yet.
Well, they dominated on the boards in the preseason again. And I'll go back to the 2 big fellas, Dudley and Sabonis, going on the floor at the same time. Cliff, nice play. Violation.
Good cut. Cliff is wide open. That's where you want Cliff, in the direction.
12-10.
Moulton steal.
Real nice read by Rod on the entry attempt by Moulton to Gaddison. Cliff loves to shoot it deep. 29-27, Vancouver on top by 2. Now the learning curve varies, of course, from player to player, and you cannot get impatient with some of the youth that both these teams put on the floor, because it could change, sometimes a little quicker than others. Ball deflected out of bounds. PJ looking on, and we're going to have, with Byron Scott, Big Country, Antonio Harvey playing a lot of minutes, and also you've got Kenny Gaddison on the floor for Vancouver. Cliff on the drive, good. He'll go to the line. Well, the way this team is structured, it's got to be Cliff's team offensively. The way he's scoring, he's just drawn even at 29.
Cliff has been attacking the basket. This time again, putting the ball on the floor, comes in.
See, a lot of teams are going to try and take advantage of that matchup. Harvey against maybe someone a little quicker.
Nice steal, Harvey Grant that time, quick in the passing lane. Anytime a team just stands there like the Grizzlies did in their last possession or the Trailblazers are much easier to defend.
Cliff on the penetration by Rod, the kick out. And Harvey coming. Rod rubbed off a pick. Cliff steps up and helps. Anthony can't make it. And Dudds with another rebound. He's got 10. And Cliff to the rack. We're going back to that point, Steve. Mike teams look.
I mean, since you're going to make some golf something out of it, right?
I could make shirt and pants out of Benjamin's trousers. What is that, a teal or a robin's egg blue?
Closer to teal.
Cliff drawing the D. And he's got the Blazers a 5-point lead. With a replacement crew of officials here tonight. 2. Normally you would have 3, but there are 2 of them out here tonight. Grizzlies now on a 7-0 run and have drawn even at 55. Cliff. Vancouver. Wingfield, ill-advised. 1-point lead, foul on the driving Moten by Rod Strickland. Now it's starting to get a little credit. It's the second foul by Rod.
Well, the cardinal rule of defense is to stop the man with the ball, and the Trailblazers let Moten get too deep. You see him wave.
He was going to run him down, and he got called. And that is the 22nd turnover of the game. Blazers have 22. Sabonis gets it. He's got 12. Blazers by 1. Sabonis steps in front of the big country. I'd like to see a foot race between those two. Entry tip pass inside Harv to Cliff. Beautifully done. Rod, Harvey, Cliff.
The Kings Television Network welcomes you to Phoenix, the home of the Red Hot Suns. They are looking to make it 20 wins in the last 25 games tonight in front of a packed house. And for the 3rd time this year, it's the Kings. And obviously, you give up those type of numbers, you are not going to win the ball games.
Well, not unless you can score 130. And really, the Kings have really given up over 60 in each of the first 2 halves.
Weber's just picked up a second foul.
Well, that couldn't come at a worse time for this Sacramento team being thin anyway.
And that's going to get Lawrence Funderburk right up off the bench. So Weber in foul trouble with 9 minutes and 17 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, this is one of those situations. Obviously, you lose Chris Weber early like this, totally unexpected. So Lawrence Funderburk has not been playing a lot of minutes. He's going to get a chance to play more tonight. So it's up to him now to step into that role of Chris Weber.
And Robinson, and the lead is now 6.
Gary Payton present greatness, and he understands the challenge, and he's always kind of stepped up and met it.
Robinson if it goes.
Well, Cliff Robinson really creates a lot of problems for Lawrence Funderburk. He's a guy who's bigger than Lawrence, stronger, but very comfortable not only going inside against him, which he can do, but he also is an outstanding, it's just, in my mind, a bigger John Stockton, a bigger and much younger John Stockton. And that's about as good a compliment as any point guard needs.
Robinson, Cliff Robinson having his way early moments here. White jersey, so he kicks back for Nick. Robinson flips the kid.
Well, that's a pretty good look by Nick, but one thing I think this Kings team needs to maybe concentrate a little more on is getting the ball into Vlade Divac. It's simply a matchup that the Suns have a problem with.
Well, no problem for Cliff Robinson in this first quarter. He's in double figures with him. And Bailey pulls it down for Kidd.
Well, Kings getting good looks.
Speaking of a good look, a wide open play. You got to like the Kings defense here in the second quarter. Tony stops, pops, no. Numbers the other way. And Robinson with the easy layup. He's got 15.
Despite having to let down themselves a little bit, because without Jason Kidd out there, you know, a team has a tendency to think they've got an advantage, and certainly on a short term that may not necessarily be the case.
What a pass to Divac, and he looks for the ball. He was hit right in the face. How can you not call that? He was hit right in the face, and there's no whistle, for crying out loud. Robinson with the three, and the Kings need to call a 20-second timeout as Divac is down at the other end of the court, and opportunity. Robinson walks in and hits.
Well, Suns offense is really hitting on all cylinders.
We'll check out other scores at the next opportunity. Robinson walks in and hits.
Well, Suns offense is really hitting on all cylinders. Here we go. Have a look at it, and
Good call.
off Lottie's knee.
Robinson. 22 for Robinson.
Well, really, this entire second half, the Phoenix Suns have stepped it up on defense.
Robinson with 10 on the clock. The running right-hander.
Well, Rodney's been very effective, as have Oliver Miller off the bench, Randy Livingston off the bench. These guys have really produced a lot of fireworks.
Two-man game, right back to Robinson. 26 for Cliff Robinson.
Good point, Cliff is showing.
Now center number 30 from Connecticut at 6'10". Once again, say hello to Mr. Robinson. Clifford Robinson. Now for the
7 shots less per game, finding his teammates a more unselfish player. He led the team in assists in addition to scoring, and it has really made a huge difference here in Detroit.
As we talked about, Mike, career high free throw percentage, career high in assists.
Robinson. Cliff Robinson from downtown. Now, he didn't shoot well in the Toronto series, around 35-36%. So when you have stats
Up, but they don't do anything for their teammates. Jerry Stackhouse has really helped his teammates this year, as has Paul Pierce.
See, part of the big bench as they try the alley-oop to Wallace. Damon Jones, John Barry in the game. Robinson gets inside. Nice move from Cliff Robinson.
Well, like it was off the rim and not in the cylinder. Let's take another look.
Still right above, it looked like part of the ring as the lower base, and Robinson comes back. Cliff Robinson getting himself going.
Steal and a broken zipper.
Robinson with Rogers on him, former Phoenix teammates. Cliff Robinson now in double figures with 11.
Defensive end for Detroit.
Anderson again gets inside. Stackhouse got a piece of it and comes up with a block. Robinson for three.
The difference that time, Michael, that last three-point shot that Clifford Robinson took from the corner wasn't really in. Detroit 5th in the NBA in three-point attempts.
Anderson again. Wallace with the steal. The Pistons have more three-pointers than the Celtics. Robinson hits a three.
You were saying, Mike?
That's their 5th from downtown. And Jim O'Brien wants time.
Detroit Pistons love the three-point shot when it's there. Chucky Atkins pushes it. Clifford Robinson trails and walks right into a three, again in rhythm, just like his previous one when Jerry Stackhouse found him. The Detroit defense keys their break, but they...
Minute and a half left, and Walter McCarty with the hands. Barry, though, somehow dives to tip it to a teammate. Stackhouse. 8-0 run by the Pistons.
A second and a half later, we shoot the layup on the opposite end.
5 minutes have been played here in the third. Pistons by 7. Stackhouse Robinson had the big first half, launches a three. Cliff Robinson with 20 points.
The difference in the way these two teams play the pick and roll. Dino surprisingly didn't attempt a three, I don't believe, in the series against Philadelphia.
Didn't score a point, missed the 2 shots that he took. And getting his first points of the playoffs here this afternoon. Cliff Robinson answers right back. Robinson now at 22. He's the roll on the second. Walker taking a breather.
Didn't hear any of the critics of Boston's three-point shooting on Friday night as they were raining down threes in the Fleet Center.
19 of them. Williamson inside. Nice feed from Cliff Robinson.
Clifford Robinson finds Corliss on.
Enormous for this team.
Well, we talked about Stack trusting his teammates. There's an awful lot to that. You trust your teammate. You don't want to focus the light upon yourself. Both of these teams are into winning, and the results show.
Robinson hits the three. Cliff Robinson with 25. The ball well in the Toronto series, nor did Jerry Stackhouse. But boy, they are shooting well in game 1 of this series. And a 16-point lead for the Pistons. And three-pointers are doing it. 10 of 19 from three-point range. Robinson making 11.
Great look outside. Clifford Robinson has his feet.
Now the Pistons seem to be the team with more energy, with more bounce to their step. Obviously when you're behind, but that's been the case for a good portion of the game.
Well, I think a little bit of that has to do with you win game 5. Antoine Walker reacts a little too vehemently for Joe Forte.
After the personal foul, a technical foul on Walker.
Well, it's a little bit or a lot of frustration. Call it what you will. The way this game is going. But your point, more importantly now, run some clock and get a good look.
Atkins has 8 assists in the game. Stackhouse on Eric Williams. Robinson. Cliff Robinson puts it in. 30 points for Robinson.
Well, there's the trust we talked about. Stack puts